Now, I want to welcome you to this class. Today we are going to learn about computer software. We have so far learned about hardware and how computer is organized into several sections or units. We have seen input section that involves whatever we give to the computer or whatever we input into the computer using some input devices such as the keyboard. We have seen how memory is organized, especially how it's divided into primary and secondary and the different classification. We have seen about output devices such as printers, monitors, and so much more about the hardware. Now, today we are going to focus about computer software. Now, hardware will never give you any value unless you run some programs on it. Now, when you program or when you write some instructions that are going to perform a particular task, then we say you are writing software. So software is a set of programs which are designed to perform a well-defined function. Like when you are typing, when you are using some program to do some accounting, those are well-defined functions which have been programmed. So you can say you are using a Microsoft Word software or you're using a Microsoft Excel software. Now, another name that is used is the word program. Program, these are sequence of instructions. That means they flow from one to the other in terms of solving a problem. So when you write your instructions in a manner that they are executed in a sequential way, then we say you have written a program. So a program and software are used interchangeably. Now, software is divided into two broad classes, and one of the class or one of the type is system software. The other one is application software. Now, system software, what is it? Every computer or every hardware that is manufactured, there must be an accompanying software that is also designed and generated by the manufacturer to make the hardware or to make the computer work. Now, a system software is a collection of programs which are designed to make your hardware operate well, maybe manage memory, maybe even give you more functions as you are using your computer. These softwares, system softwares, they can be a single program or they can be a collection of programs. They are basically programmed or written using some languages. Languages here we mean we need some, some format or some code for coming up with these softwares. So these softwares are normally written in low-level language. There are two languages that are used in coming up with softwares, or rather broad classifications of software languages. We have the low-level language, and we have the high-level language. But when you're writing a system software, you use a low-level language. What do we mean by that? These are languages that only the machine, the hardware, can understand. That means the instructions are difficult for a human being to understand because they are more of computer or hardware oriented. An example is a language called machine language. This is a language that is represented by the use of digits such as 0 and 1s. It's called binary language. Another language which is low-level language is called assembly language. So assembly language uses some mnemonics. Mnemonics are English-like words which represent something that is complex. An example of an instruction such as load, store, can be interpreted into a machine language in terms of 0 and 1s. So system software basically is a program that has been designed to make your machine or your hardware operate, to control it, to manage memory, to manage the processor, to manage everything about that hardware. So we can say system software acts as an interface between the user and the hardware. That means it makes you operate your machine when you interact with it. That's what we call an interface. Examples of system softwares include operating system, or what people call OS. So OS is operating system, is a program that is used to make your hardware operate. Yeah, it can manage errors, it can help you create folders, it can help you create user accounts, it can help you manage memory and even the processor. Other system softwares may include compilers. Compilers are softwares which are used to write programs. Others may include interpreters. Interpreters, again, they are softwares used to write and interpret programs, change it from one language to another. Another one may be an assembler language. So these are some of the examples of system software. But the famous one that you can even find here in our institution is the Windows. So when you talk of your machine is having Windows 10 or Windows 11 or Windows 8, simply we are saying that is a system software. It is an operating system. We may have other machines using softwares like Linux or using Mac OS. Mac OS, you'll find it most likely in Apple machines. So those who are using Apple machines, they are using Mac OS. We still have others anyway. Now, what are the features of system software, or how will you describe them? So the features include such things as they are very fast when they are being operated. This software is very fast because it works on hardware direct. It doesn't need so much translation. These softwares are closer to the hardware, or they are closer to the system. So the hardware understands them better than a human being. Then another feature is they are difficult to design. They are always smaller in size. That is, they occupy very little memory for them to work faster. Yeah, and they are difficult to manipulate. Simply means they may not give you the necessary friendliness of a software, and they are generally written in low-level language. So those are some of the features. If we are to further classify system software, then we'll say they fall into, again, two groups. One is operating system. So an operating system is any program that acts as a supervisor. It controls, it monitors, it decides which program is going to be processed, what time, and how much memory should it occupy, and such kind of things. So it's like a supervisor who issues instructions to other programs. So it's normally loaded first before you can put some other programs. Example is, as I have told you, Windows. Windows, you have several versions. We had Windows XP, we had Windows 7, we had Windows 8, now we have Windows 10, we have even Windows 11, and others are going to come. We also have Unix. is also an operating system. We have disk operating system, DOS, and many others. The other classification of system software, apart from operating system, is what we call utility software. The word utility is being used to represent a program that comes in between to give you some, or to help you carry some routinous jobs like sorting, merging, copying, linking, and such kind of things. So we have programs that help us carry some routinous jobs, and they are normally manufactured and supplied by the manufacturers of this hardware. Now, the second classification of softwares, apart from system software, is what we call application software. So while we talked about system software being so much focusing on the hardware, now application software, from the word apply, is used or is designed to satisfy a particular need. So if you want to type, you're going to use application software. If you're going to do some accounts, you're going to do some payroll, you're going to do some booking of maybe airline or an SGR, or you're going to do some game playing, or you're going to do some videography or some picture editing, then you're using application software. Application software, sometimes we call them products, because they are normally supplied as packages or as suites or different programs bundled together, and they are normally sold. I'll call them there. You'll find them in the shelf or in the shops. We call them off shelf. So application software can be a single program, or it can be a number of programs bundled together. An example is Microsoft Word. Microsoft Word has several other small programs for editing, for typing, for correcting errors, for copying, for pasting, and all that. But you can have an application software that is just a single program, like a notepad. So a notepad is just a program that deals with texts. You use it to